You are listening to Part 8 of the podcast series, 15 Laws of Growth.
Law number 8 is the law of reflection. And this law basically says learning to pause allows growth to catch up with you. When Margaret and I would take our children on vacations, or when we took them maybe for a day of family outing, when we were coming back, they knew that I was going to take them through a ritual. I would ask them 2 questions as kids all the time. I've asked this hundreds of times. I'd say, what did you love most about the day? Because they're kids. What was the most fun for you? And number 2 is, what did you learn? And they knew that I was always going to ask them, what did they learn? Now the reason for that is I was just trying to help them, even as children, to understand. And I don't understand why most people haven't grasped this yet. Don't let people that you meet, experiences that you have, pass you without reflecting on them. I shared with you that last night at the John Maxwell Company, Kevin came over and laid out the plans of the John Maxwell Leadership Center, and we looked at those. And when I finished with him and went back to my room, and I called Margaret for a little bit and talked some of that with her, I spent, I don't know, not a long time, maybe 15, 20 minutes reflecting on what happened, what Kevin said, what the other people said as they looked at the facilities and gave input, and how I felt. Now, all I'm just saying to you is, because I'm huge in this area, this is very important to me, I don't understand why people will go through a whole day and not call a timeout and reflect on their day. Because it's in that reflection, in that 10, 15-minute period of reflection, that's where almost everything I learn happens. It's where gratitude happens in my life. It's where resolve to change things happens in my life. And so this whole idea of pausing long enough to let growth catch up to you, I think this is amazing. Experience is not the best teacher. Evaluated experience is the best teacher. If experience were the best teacher, then people as they got older would be wiser because they have all kinds of experiences. And yet I know people that are older and they're not one bit wiser. They're not any more mature. It's the ability to take an experience and reflect on it and evaluate it. It's not what you did, it's what you learned from what you did that is going to help you to grow and develop yourself as a person. So here's my reflection questions. Let me just go right into this, and we got this law under our belt. The first one is, what did I learn today? Now, every evening I go through these questions. So, they're so simple. It's nothing brilliant here. It's just simple stuff. But what did I learn today? Number 2 is, how can I apply what I learned today? I happen to believe that learning without application quickly becomes lost. And question number 3, how can I pass on what I learned today? And those 3 very simple questions are just great for reflection. As you end your day, just sit there and just, by the way, I call that, reflection is my back bookend of my day. Just like in the morning, I look at where I'm going to be and what my schedule looks like for the day. And I ask myself on the front end, okay, what's the main event for today? What's the most important thing I'm going to be doing today? Because I learned a long time ago, at least I don't have capacity to give everything 100% throughout the day. Are you with me? I don't have that capacity. You maybe are just much more energetic than I am, but I can't give everything 100%. So I've got to decide, where am I going to get good? You with me? Because there are going to be some places I'm going to be kind of maybe average. Where am I going to get good? And I match my where am I going to give 100%, where am I going to get good by what the most important thing is I'm going to do. So on the front end of my day, my front bookend, as I start my day, is a sense of looking at that day and determining priorities and saying, this is where I need to put my most effort, my energy. It's just as on the back end, I need to reflect and say, okay, now that I've done all this, what did I learn and how did I grow?